3, 2, 1. Action.
Oh,
Yeah, we are there. I can see it.
cool. Thanks, Jesse. So you wanna do the show for us too? No? What do you mean no? You just forced us to go live when Joe was like, don't make us go live, and then you made it go live. So I
He
feel like you
did.
need to take
Yep.
responsibility.
He
17 people are waiting to hear your voice, Jesse. Your
That's right.
majestic,
You should
beautiful
unmute
voice.
yourself. I don't know if you're muted or not.
Yeah,
Like,
are you muted?
can they hear you right now? Because if not, like
Sounds like we're talking to a wall. Oh my gosh.
I
Guys, you
know.
don't
Like,
understand.
who are you guys even talking to? We're talking to
Hmm.
Jesse.
We're talking to a
Jesse
producer.
is truly, he does truly exist. You can see him on the BSS gaming streams on the
That's
weekends
right.
on Twitch. You will
Oh,
actually see that's the
this
guy
just
who
in,
messes
Jesse's
with
gonna do
us
the
on
show for
this show.
us.
You think he's nice.
You think he's nice? Wait till he pushes you live in the middle of a
Yeah, right.
conversation.
Exactly. Like we're it's crazy. But hey,
Jesse, Jesse, Jesse.
you
You see what I gotta go through?
That's right. Again and
That's
again
because
and
we
again.
love
Just
you.
wait till next week. You think it's bad now?
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, he'll punish us. He's gonna cut us off at the end of the show. Actually, he's been really good about that. He's never cuts us off, but he usually starts us when he usually lets us know when we're gonna start. Pretty good.
I'm like, guys, everybody waiting for you, and they're like, no. So then I push them out. That's
Fair
truly
than no
what
was a
happened
joke, but
too.
anyways, hi, welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday, the show where we talk about our issues. No,
Because we have many of them.
yeah. It's a show where we talk about your issues, whatever is going through your head, whatever's on your mind that you are worried about, or just, maybe bothers you a little bit. Maybe it's something that bothers your friend, and you want us to talk about that. Either way, we lived lives, we've gone through experience, and basically, if I could go back in time and tell myself something, that's kind of what we're trying to do for you guys. Not that you're younger than us or any wiser, but we've all lived different experiences in our lives, and we can all share with something with each other. So it's cool if you guys can post in the chat, whatever you have to say about the topics as well. We really appreciate that.
You're probably younger than me. Because I'm old.
Joe's 29.
Ish.
Ish. That's a really big ish.
Hey.
Hey, well, he's at least twice 20.
That's like a 13-year ish right there.
Yeah, it's a 13-year ish. That's not a big deal. Yeah. Well, I guess that's not a big deal when you're like 150. 13 years, mine, give or take, is nothing,
Right.
But Joe isn't 150.
Not yet.
Not even close. Not yet.
Plan on it.
Someday he will be.
Ah,
Whether he'll be dead or
yes.
alive.
I am 19. Who said that? Somebody said I'm perpetually 19. Amira. Yes.
Oh, Amira said that. Nice.
Yes, she's a super friend of mine
Yeah.
because she says I'm 19 perpetually. I'm happy with that. That's good.
Nice. So yeah, this is a show where we talk about whatever is going on in the world or whatever is going on in your lives that you guys are concerned about. Hopefully we can touch on it and provide a little bit of perspective. A lot of times you guys already know what to do, but having a little bit of encouragement or maybe a different idea on it, or maybe taking a step back to just kind of put your opinions and thoughts out there can really change how you go about solving a problem, or really change how well prepared you are for solving the problem. So anyways, that's what we're here to do, just basically be friends. Also, we are not professionals, psychologists, psychiatrists, psychoanalysts, or anything. Really, we're just not really professionals of much in that field. So anything that we say, you should take with your own judgment and figure out, hey, does this line up? Does this sound like a good idea? And consult your doctor if it's a medical thing. There you go. Consult your dietitian if it's a dietary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Consult your lawyer if it's a legal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Consult your local librarian if it's a book thing. So, hey,
Yep.
Yep. So, anyways,
Consult Joe Bohan on Double Cup of Joe show for accounting things.
yes, that is actually accurate because he is a professional
Yes,
accountant.
he is. He is actually certificated.
Certificated. He is a certified accountant. Yes.
Yes.
Hello. Welcome everybody. Got quite a chat, so this is awesome. Lay,
Mhm.
it's great to see you. We don't get to see you very often, so I just want to say, hey man, nice to see you.
Hey.
So on the chopping block today,
Chopping. Wow.
yeah, wow, we're about to
I
dish
didn't
these people up
realize we were
cold
chopping.
serve. You know, we're about to give them a cold dish of harsh reality. No, we've got topics in the queue. We've got Royal, Sevlev, SK, and Braden. If any of you guys are here, please drop a hey, yo, what's up, your mom and dad into chat, and we can get to you. But otherwise, I think we're gonna have to wing it. There's not very many in the queue. There are some that we might be able to do that have been like really old topics that kind of got lost in time and space. But if you guys have anything that's on your mind at the time, please do share. That way we have something to talk about and you have something to learn, something that's more maybe catered towards your brain today, rather than going off on some topic that no one can necessarily relate to, you know.
Which we could do.
We could totally do that.
We totally have done that.
Yes, we've done that many times. Wouldn't advise it, but yeah.
Yes, Blue Dragon. If you have anything, then that'd be great.
Hey. Yeah.
Marhandi says today's a special day.
Marhandi, what's going on? A special day.
I like.
Is it your
special days.
birthday? Is it your birthday? Your
It's
anniversary?
Your birthday. It's your birthday. You know what? I wished Ryan a happy birthday on his birthday, and he said, "Yeah, happy birthday to you." And I was like,
Yeah.
"It's not my birthday. It's yours. Like seriously, it's not my like. Come on."
That's usually my response, though. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, you too. Summer birthday. It will be someday.
Hey.
Hey, I hope my
20 on,
birthday
it's
is
your
happy
birthday.
for you as well. Mahandi, happy birthday. Welcome to
birthday.
20. Nice. You made it. The big 2-0. Well, Joe's going to sing for you.
Huh?
Hey, I'm the host. I get to say these things.
Happy,
You're the start of the
show. We're at your birthday. We can party too. Hey.
There you go.
That one.
Yeah. Joe is the star of the show, so it's only appropriate that he sing.
It's only appropriate. I did that when I worked at a car wash one time. I did that happy birthday thing like they always do at the restaurants.
Mm-hmm. At a car wash. That's great. He's like, roll down your window. Yeah, roll down your window. Roll down your window. Yeah. Happy birthday. You're getting water in here all over the place. It's okay. It's okay. It's your special day, you know?
Yeah. That was super fun.
That's awesome.
Oh yes. So yeah, if anybody if anybody has a topic for us to talk about, then please post it in the chat.
Yeah.
We could talk about birthdays. There's another thing that happened at that car wash.
There's a lot of things that happen at that car wash.
There was this manager there, and we got along sometimes, and she was a girl, and hence yeah. So anyway, so we were out working in the car wash together, right? And I was spraying, she was brushing or whatever, and we were kind of like having some kind of discussion back and forth about stuff going on, and the person rolled their window down. They're like, "Are you guys married?" And I like, she wishes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious. Nice.
Oh yeah, that was fun. For as crummy as that job was, it was kind of, there was some fun stuff.
There's some fun. There. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. But I think that happens in any job you have, or any set of circumstances you have, no matter how crummy it is, because we all go through crummy stuff, but there's always a story just around the corner. There's always something that happens that can be a fun story or a cool story or something like that. Ryan's got lots of great stories from being an inspector, like I have.
Yep. We both
Like
have
I
our fair share of
continue to
those.
get on a regular basis.
Yeah, and
Um,
see, inspecting is a job where you know you're gonna get a story, even though
mhm,
half the time what you're trying to do is avoid people. Like
yes.
you're just gonna get a story every day. Hey, hey,
Hey, Luna.
nice to see you, Luna. Yeah, it's been a long time. Nice to see you. Yeah.
Yes, I go
Um.
out of my way as an inspector to avoid stories
Mm-hmm. Because
because
they make it slower.
exactly. They take up time. If I can have a very non-eventful day of not running into anything, it's a boring day. But you know what? It goes by a lot faster. If I get a lot of stories, yeah, that was a long, slow day. But I got some stories out of it, so I guess it's not
Yeah.
all bad. But at any rate,
Are you German, Luna? Are you German? I didn't realize that if you are. I never realized. So, Blue, did you have something you want us to talk about? Because we are just totally not talking about anything right now. Anybody have
yeah,
a
we are
topic? That'd be awesome. Okay, we
talking
are.
about
We're
we're talking about nothing.
actually talking about how even if you have a crummy situation, there's always a story on the other side of it, and that can be a joy for sure.
Mhm.
Um,
We could resurrect pancakes versus waffles.
but we both agree.
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
Did we agree on waffles?
yeah, we both agreed on waffles.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Joe's the outlier.
yep, waffles.
Jesse says waffles too. Princess says
Yeah,
waffles. Oh man. Joe,
yeah.
I wish Joe was here.
Well, it's not gonna be here now. Jeez. After all that, jeez. Oh, you're from England. Okay. Yeah. I was like, yeah.
Pancake
Okay.
Saula, come on. She's Pop Tarts. But pancakes discussion over. See, there's like with the
Yeah.
pancake people, there's
Okay.
like this pride thing. Like, look at that. Look at that face that Helmarock put there. Pancakes, discussion over. It's
Yeah.
like, see, with waffles, it's just like, hey man, waffles, because cause it's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like waffles are cool.
Yeah. Waffles are cool, guys. We realize they're like made of the same stuff, but one's like crispy and
Mm-hmm. And goes good with chicken. Like you can go to a southern restaurant and get fried chicken and waffles.
yeah, you don't put chicken on your pancakes.
That's right. That's right. Man.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't on a keto diet. Now I want
Mm.
now I want some fried chicken and waffles.
Pork rinds. Just use pork rinds and just like mash it into a waffle maker and fry that. Add some water to it. You just take pork rinds, add some water to it, and then throw that in a pancake or a waffle
A
maker, and
waffle
just
iron, that'd be something.
waffle iron.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you get pork rinds shaped like a waffle. It's my favorite.
Yes,
Gross.
that's awesome. Well, hey, do we
Hey.
want to grab a topic from
Yeah, let's do that.
Sola, you said you had a topic a few weeks ago, but wasn't that a free for all Friday topic? Trying to remember. I don't think that was a Don't Worry Wednesday topic. I think it was a free for all Friday topic.
Well, we have nothing in the anytime queue. Brilliant. I click on it and I'm like, well, we have nothing. Oh, great.
Oh, you also wrote up a Don't Worry Wednesday topic. Really?
Oh,
Okay.
did you?
Was it in Oh,
What
you
did
just
post
never
it?
posted it.
Yeah, you never posted it.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you send it to us or something?
Yeah, do you want us to do it? That'd be awesome.
Well, if
We
you
would really
have it,
appreciate that.
you can copy paste it in the chat if it's not too long. If it is, where's the link? Let's see. Are you Sola, you're a member. Okay. Are you a member at BSS.studio? I think you are. Yeah, there we
If you're
go.
not,
There we go.
so
Yes, Blue Dragon. And if you have a topic that you want us to do, then absolutely. Oh, and Discord is definitely an option. Yes, you could paste it to the Discord. Absolutely. That would work just fine.
yeah, and I think yeah. And
Let's see,
Princess
where's the
posted
Discord?
something too, that if we didn't get a topic, we could do one by 15th Ghost. They had a nice little topic as well.
Oh yeah, cool.
And
see,
that
let's
works. So it seems like we got something to go off of now. Then, all right, cool. As well as Blue Dragon also has one.
What is this? What is this? Princess. So we've got two chats going on. Princess says to everyone, "Can you poke them, Jesse, please, gently?"
Gently. Can you poke them, Jesse?
Like,
Gently.
can you get them back on track, please? Because apparently she's like, I can't do it. They're ignoring me.
They're ignoring me. We're
sorry,
fine. We're
Princess.
fine, Princess. Don't worry about
Princess,
us.
I
We're just
love
ignoring you.
I love you. I'm so
No.
sorry.
Yeah. So
And just know you might put it in the chat thinking it's, they're not gonna see it, but we might read it out loud.
oh, she put T upper chevron T, which is a very crying face, very sadness.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and then a huge blush.
Oh.
And Jesse wrote huge blush. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you for the commentary.
All right, Saula, thank you. Thank you. All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, stop it. Oh, sorry. No, it doesn't say stop it. It says stop it.
All right, I have a message from Saula.
Okay. All right, we've got a couple messages now. Then that's good.
All
where do you want to start with this now that we've got like 4 different things?
Oh my.
3. We've got Blue Dragons, and you also got one from Saula. Let's do the Saula one first. Is that cool?
Hold on. Yeah. It opened up in Notepad and it's got like a really long thing. So I just dragged it across my 2 monitors and it still doesn't go. It still cuts it out. That's great. All right, I'm gonna copy paste it somewhere where I can read it easier. So sorry.
Does Princess want to read it? Is there any way you can get it to her?
Maybe. It's too long for the in the let's see.
Zoom chat.
Let's see.
Can you post it, or is it too loud? Is there?
Let's try.
Yeah, we put huge links in there that are like 17 paragraphs long. Oh yeah. Nope, it didn't.
It didn't do it. It cut it.
It was too long.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna do this.
Oh yeah. What about Discord? There you go. You send it to her in a Discord message.
It was a Google Doc. Okay, and it became a text. Yes. Okay. Let's go to Discord. Princess. What? Oh no, your message is over 2,000 characters. This is why it happened.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have that limit.
You have to upload it as a file. Okay.
You can upload as a file. She'll open it. It'll be the text for her.
Same thing. All right, let's see. I got it right here. Wait a second. Watch this.
Are you gonna post it as a topic?
What?
Are you gonna post it as a topic?
No.
Okay.
This,
anyways, while Joe does this, oh, you're gonna read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's okay, Princess. Do you
want
me to get it to you so you can read it, or do you want me to just read it? Because I could try and figure this out.
I think it's probably okay if you just
converted a Google Doc to a text, make it a website post. I can do this. This is okay. Watch this. Okay.
Wow. Hey guys, welcome to Technology Problems with.
Yeah, welcome to us doing crazy stuff.
So in the chat, how you guys doing? You guys having a good day? It's been quite a day for you. I know, because I watched you wake up this the time, whatever time it was when you woke up, and then I watched you had a good day.
You had a good day?
I don't want to lay any specifics out because it's confidential, it's personal. I don't want to, that's concerning, Ryan.
This is
no, it's topic. Not. No, guys, you guys are great. I watched all of you guys. You guys are great. Nothing. I got no problems with any of you guys doing any of the stuff that I watched you did.
That I watched you.
I had my eyes closed the whole time, so that's. You're fine. I was watching the whole time with my eyes closed.
All right. There it is, Princess. It's there.
Steve Nichols had a great time.
Do you want to see it too? Ah. There.
Are we good now? Do we got it?
We're good. We got it.
Okay, so feel free, guys, to click on that link that was just provided by the Joseph Anderson CDBNL. And feel free to read along as Princess reads the topic for us.
Humility, pride, and self-esteem. I will start this with a series of statements that begin with I to emphasize my problem. I am self-centered. I struggle to be kind. I attempt to be smart. I know that Double Cup of Joe show live streams take about 130 gigabytes of data on Jovi's computer, apparently. I said I attempt to be smart. I focus on others. I'm just disapproved by above statement. I struggle with self-esteem. Okay, that was a lot. Now let's make this a bit more clear. I have struggled with pride, humility, and self-esteem. Well, the humility part might just be because of a lot of habits that I formed around a bad definition of humility and the fact of trying to fix myself by turning inward. I first realized myself being prideful back in high school. I tried to get rid of my pride by changing how I treated successes and failures in my team projects. At the time, I was proud of my successful team in the robotics lab. There were about 7 teams, and I was the team leader for one of them. I was responsible for designing the robot and making sure that someone better at building than me would be the one to build it, else it would fall apart. But along the way, there were many successes and failures our team endured. Our team as a whole was responsible for them, but sometimes one particular person would figure something out that was great, and sometimes someone would screw something up. How I decided to enforce my humility, because I was very proud of my success in the team and the success of my designs, was to take credit for everything that went wrong. If a team member X messed up, it was my fault because I did not take the proper measures to prevent the mistake. I would rationalize why everything that went wrong was my fault, and I did not stop there. If something went well, I would not take credit for it. I would find someone else who was involved that got the credit. Typically, they had some involvement, but sometimes it was things that I should have gotten credit for. But I would be prideful, selfish if I took credit for something good that happened. You can see where this is going. I can only do things that are wrong. I can only screw things up. I have to strive for perfection so I don't screw everything up. But when something good happens, I have to give credit for it to someone else. So yeah, self-esteem suffers a bit when you can only mess up and can't do anything good in your own head. I have recently been a bit better about not doing this, but I still struggle with self-centeredness. I have been better about it with driving, I guess because I can't give credit for my winning races in karting to somebody else, especially when I get a slow kart. Or I use the same kart as someone else in karting. At the same time, I know that I am far from the best, so even if I beat everyone I race, I can still put myself down. Recently, I have been going to car shows and talking to people about their cars, but mostly just saying, cool car. And that's interesting. And how does that work? Pretty much trying not to involve me in the conversation. Just don't bring me in it. So pretty much I've been trying not to think about the 3 short words, me, myself, and I. You might be able to tell how well that's been going if you remember the beginning of this. I have since been out of high school for 4 years, and I have 2 more years of college as an indication of time frame, but I've made little progress here on this issue. I guess now I feel that I have been very fortunate my whole life, but maybe I'm not worth what I have. Everyone around me is encouraging and will try to say things that are good about me, which I could and often do argue against their point, especially if it's something that I did. At the same time, I try to build them up, which often involves some amount of self-deprecation. I'm getting better about supporting others in a non-self-deprecating way, though not much better. There's always someone better, no matter how good I am at something. And even if I do become the best at something, God is still better. Kind of makes it hard to try, even if I'm glad that God is better. Any ideas or suggestions? From Saule. Shideen on Discord.
Awesome. Thank you, Princess, for reading that. Thanks to Joe for getting that to us, and thank you, Saul, for getting that that to us as well. I think it's a great topic, and I think it's something that a lot of people suffer from and go through and try to figure out. And I think a lot of us are still trying to figure it out. Where's the line between pride and humility? How do you get there? What's the right avenue to what kind of activities do we take to program ourselves to have the right view of ourselves so that we're not hating on ourselves or pushing away compliments and stuff like that? I think that it's a great topic. I'm sure that Joe will have a lot to add and say about this, because this is so human. I think we've all gone through some variants of this. Being human is being self-aware, which is in a way that, yes, every animal is technically self-aware, but humans are to a degree that is incredibly sociable. We have a relationship with ourselves, and we are trying to figure that relationship out as we go through life. And it's a really interesting thing. I think that we all, to some degree, have to battle this whole realm of pride, humility, or self-centeredness, and all of this kind of stuff. And how we act, how we act to have other people perceive us, right? We act a specific way so that other people perceive us a specific way. Like you said, I attempt to be smart. And I think that that's something I totally did a lot in high school, because I wanted other people to think I was smart, even though I wasn't really. And yeah, so I think that there's a lot we can talk about. One thing that I want to say off the bat is something that's interesting is, I remember a long time ago, you kind of talked about this. I was giving some people compliments. I was giving a particular person a compliment about basically the way that they were thinking or their lifestyle choices or whatever, something that they were good at, some kind of virtue. And their response was, "You're just complimenting me about something that you're already good at." And I was like, yeah. So, like, everything I'm good at, I took from somebody else too, right? I learned how to be good from other people, and you've also learned how to be good at this, whether it was my fault or not. And it wasn't. I'm applauding you for being good at it. You don't have to self-deprecate yourself. You don't have to make yourself look worse than somebody else to compliment them, right? In fact, if you look back through your life, the people that you are the most proud of, and they compliment you on something that they're good at, like if you had a sensei, like if you were doing martial arts or something, right? And then they compliment you on your form, or they compliment you on your force, or whatever it is, and they compliment you, you don't go, "Well, why would you compliment me about that?" They don't deprecate themselves. They don't go, "Wow, you're even better at that than I am." No, they just say, "You're really good," and you feel good about that because there's someone who is good at it, right? And I think that that's important. So just as a quick side note is, try not to self-deprecate yourself. Try not to make yourself look worse than they are. Sorry. Try not to make yourself look worse than they are in order to make them look better. Because what you end up doing when you do that is you end up turning the spotlight on yourself on accident. Because if you say, "Oh, wow, you're so good at that," you're like, "Man, I'm not very good at that," and you're just really good. Like, I'm not very good at art, but I can tell you've spent a lot of time in that. What it ends up doing is it doesn't make them feel like it's a full compliment, because they can see, like, I don't want you to feel bad because I'm good. I remember dealing with that as a kid a lot. Like, I don't want someone to feel bad because I'm good at the piano and they're not. Like, that sucks. That doesn't make me feel good. It just makes me feel worse. I want other people to be good at stuff too, right? So anyways, that's what I wanted to start with. Obviously, kind of long-winded, but I'm sure Joe's got a lot to say. So take it away, Joe.
Actually, I'm gonna say what I have to say fairly quickly, hopefully, because I know that Ryan actually knows this whole deal about being self-centered. I love how he started with self-awareness, because that's you know, like we are actually blessed as humans that we can actually like analyze our thoughts.
Right.
Animals just have thoughts and react, right? They just have their instincts. A thought pops in and they do it, right? Like they act on instinct. Where we as humans, we can analyze our instinctual responses. We can analyze those things and we can start to think, okay, is this appropriate? Should I make a different choice? And we have a choice to decide if we want to follow that impulse or if we want to follow another path, right? So this what you have written, Saula, is so profoundly awesome because it just it shows that you are aware. You are aware of this inner conversation, which a lot of people aren't. It's so interesting because I see lots and lots of different people, right? That they they either fall in this camp like you are, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to be a better person and I'm trying to do better, and you know, so now I'm kind of analyzing everything, that all my interactions with people, and I'm analyzing my thought process, and I'm doing this stuff, right? And we can get caught up in that area. And then there are other people I know that have this whole other side of things where they don't think about themselves or their inner conversation at all. They're just like thinking about the other person. They're like, I love this other person, but this area is a huge blind spot for them, and they're just offensive. like they'll come up and they'll just, you know, say whatever they want. I have this whole group of people that, you know, I know that they're the way they show love for each other is they rip on each other. And I'm like, it's like, who can get the best dig? Because it's funny, right?
That's rough.
It's not funny, but that's what they do. That's just the habit. And it's multi-generational, like grandma, you know, dad, kids, everybody, like that's what they do. And they don't just rip on each other. They like look for other people that they don't even know, like that are around, and they point things out and rip on them. And that's what they do. They rip on people. And it's like, but here's the thing, you get to know them and they're very loving and they love each other and they would do anything for each other. Like they go out of their way to help each other out. They do all these kinds of things, right? But like the thing they do is they rip on each other and cut each other down. And to me, I look at that and it's like, okay, so here are people who have this, they do care for each other. They love each other. But what they do is like, they're not even thinking about how they might be affecting somebody with their words. Because deep down inside, when we get ripped on or we get picked on or we rip on somebody else, it knocks down our self-esteem every single time. It will. So Ryan, I am totally going to steal one of your phrases, but I'm not going to expound on it because I hope you will. And he says the answer is not selfishness or selflessness. It's not being selfish or selfless. The answer is charity. The answer is love. And in this situation where you are at, Saula, because you are already analyzing this stuff, you're a step ahead of a great number of the population because you're already examining this inner conversation, this inner battle between pride and humility. And you're trying to figure out where it is. And some of it's going to be practice. Some of it's just going to be, you know, trial and error, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and then having the grace with yourself to know that this is all a learning experience. And if you mess up one day, it's just a lesson for next time, right? It's not that you're a bad person because you didn't do it 100% right this time. It's just, this is data that you can use to make an adjustment for next time and then try another approach which is basically like the world of engineering, right? That's the world of improving things through engineering. It's like we try something, hey, that worked to a certain degree. Well, but it didn't work as good as we wanted it to. So let's make some modifications here and there, and then we'll try that one. And then we examine the results and we're like, okay, that worked a little bit better than last time, but over here we really kind of screwed up. So why don't we make some adjustments here and then try again. And if I remember you correctly, Saula, you are kind of an engineer. You have an engineering mind. You have a very thoughtful, analytical in that regard. Correct me if I'm wrong. But okay, Saula says, I can often get along with one person individually, but in a group, I struggle a lot, and everything I do ends up making someone upset. I can completely relate to that. So then sometimes it's just about, okay, yes, I'm an engineer. All right. Yep. So analytical. So what you do, you can treat each interaction like an experiment. You can try certain things, but don't try for the sake of trying to be in with these people or trying to, like make them think good about you. Try for the sake of the experiment. Because this is a journey that's going to last for your whole life. You can make improvements on this for the rest of your life if you want. And by the time you get, if you just treat it like an experiment and you're like, okay, I'm going to try this approach and we'll see how it works. We'll just see what happens. We'll see if everything explodes. Maybe everything will blow up. That'll be fun, right?
Could you imagine? You say something is totally out of line, and then they explode, and you just pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and you're like, "Yep, yep,
Explosion.
okay." And then, what did you think about that? Yeah, that's wow. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, you're getting a little loud.
Yep. But here's the key. The key actually lies in what all those people who rip on each other for fun, it's the answer's in there. And that's the love in their heart. Even though they have a funny way of expressing it, even though they're through habit, they do a lot of damage to each other, the love in their heart is truly present. And when we are thinking about this whole analysis of how we interact with other people and how our pride and humility is, the answer, like Ryan says, is charity. The answer is don't think about yourself. Don't think about what's going on. The idea is, yes, you can treat this like an experiment. You can try different approaches for sure and keep track of all that. But the key ingredient in every single one of these interactions is the love you have in your heart for that other person. And we can turn that on and off at will. We truly can. That is a choice. I can choose to love my wife or not love my wife. I can choose to love Ryan or not love Ryan.
No, you can't.
I can. I have that choice. Now, we are not always aware of the choice, but the choice still exists. And we can turn that love on. We can, and it just, at first, it might take some practice to kind of really get those feelings churned up in you. But after a while, it's just going to be like a switch where you're like, oh, I love this person. I love this person. And then when you approach the situation, or if it's a group of people, I love these people. And it turns it around. It feels so much better than I'm trying to fit in with those people. I hope I don't say something that messes things up. I hope I don't like hurt somebody's feelings. I hope I don't do something wrong. It relaxes all of that and turns it into, I love these people. These people are my friends. And even if they don't really like me for whatever reason, that doesn't matter. I still love them. And you can be calm and at peace and relaxed in any of those situations. And then because you're calm and at peace and relaxed, you can try throwing out different phrases and seeing how they hit. And it doesn't bother you if they bomb. Because you're just like, well, okay, so that one bombed. Well, I'll try something different next time, like, okay. But anyway, hopefully some of that's helpful. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan and let him talk, because a lot of the stuff I just said is based off of Ryan's advice. and I can't wait to hear what he has to say to expand. So, Ryan?
Sure. One thing that I will say that Joe has said before, and I think is a really great practice, is to tell yourself in your head whenever you approach someone that you love that person, right? Because that automatically just changes your attitude. It changes what you're going to do next. It makes you think about how you're going to engage with the person, not as if to determine how they think of you, but more so to determine how you act to show that love, right? Now it changes the balance, right? Because if you go into a situation where there's one person or many people and you start to interact with them, if you're worried about how they're going to think of you, it will change the way that you act. It'll change the way that you approach people, change your openness. It changes your body language even. It makes you kind of recoil and be really careful, and a lot of times too careful. Or it makes you nervous and slip up and say things that maybe aren't so great. And, it messes with your judgment. If instead you take Joe's advice about loving people, nice spider. Yeah, I like spiders.
Buddy.
Have a good day. Bye-bye, spider. If instead you approach them with this sense of love, instead of worrying about how are they gonna think of me? What will they think if I do this? Instead, your whole focus is turned on how do I make them feel loved? What am I gonna do to make this person recognize that I love them? Not so that they see me as a loving person, but so that they feel loved, right? It's gonna change your whole it's gonna change your whole outlook. It's going to change how you feel. It's going to change how you express yourself. It's going to change your what you naturally come to say in certain environments. So I think that Joe's advice for loving people, and just saying whenever you go to meet somebody new or whatever, just say, hey, I love this person. Maybe I don't know him yet, but I need to love this person, right? And then that will change your way, because it's not going to be how do they think of me? Like, what do they think about me so far? It's going to be, do they feel loved? Do they feel loved by me? Do they feel welcomed by me? Do they feel like I'm accepting them and welcoming them into my life, and as a friend and that sort of thing? So you change the perspective onto them rather than yourself. And I think that does a huge thing for you. Outside of everything I just said, it increases your confidence, because you show and exude confidence when you're not worried about yourself, right? Naturally, when you're not worried, you have confidence. It's like, oh, I've done this skateboard trick 7,000 times. I'm confident I'll do it again. Easy, right? And it's the same thing with having confidence in dealing with people. It doesn't have to be how many times you've dealt with people. It can just be, I'm not worried about it. And now all of a sudden I'm confident, right? And that's the way it goes. So if you, right, it's hard because you're self-centered. If you can stop focusing yourself and you focus on the others about how they feel and love on them, I think that will change that whole confidence level around. And then you won't, I think it'll be a lot easier to get away with mistakes too. See, when you're really coiled, when you're scared about what you're saying, when you're thinking they're judging you, when you make a mistake, that mistake is huge. And it's hard to come back from it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're not worried about how you appear to other people and you make a mistake, it's easy to come back from it. It's super easy. And you're like, isn't that backwards? Why is it when you worry about something, it makes it harder than it just does? Because if you make a mistake, you can easily go, oh, I'm so sorry. I totally did not mean it like that. Wow. Yeah. No, that was okay. Yeah. I'll try to stay away from that one again. Anyways. Yeah. And then you can have a light attitude and just move on from the subject. Right. But when you are really nervous or you're really worried about what they think of you, instead of having a lighthearted attitude, it becomes an even bigger deal. Right. You get nervous even more so. You shy away. You just stop talking to them altogether. And that doesn't help the relationship, right? So that's a couple of things. So couple of things on the note of how to, when you encounter someone, try to focus on them. And how to do that is to just love on them, right? If you think about yourself, you just go, Well, it doesn't matter what they think. All I have to do, my only job here is to love on them. I wasn't put on earth so that I wasn't put on earth to be given the chance to worry about how people think of me. I was put on earth to be given the chance to love on other people. Right? That's why when we love on other people, we are feeling more fulfilled. Right? That's why when we do that, we are more in tune with our nature, more in tune with what we are put here for. That's why we feel more comfortable in those situations, why we feel more confident, because that's what we are put here for. We weren't put here to worry about ourselves. We are put here to help others and to make something great out of our lives, right? More than just, oh no, what do they think of me, right? So as Joe is saying though, for like charity, there is that line because a lot of times people are either self-centered. They're always thinking about themselves. People call that selfish. Selfish is, I think, a whole nother line of it. But you could be really focused on yourself, and that's not necessarily wrong. It's not evil, right? Or you could be selfless, and selfless isn't something that's good. And I think you've experienced that firsthand, Saul. When you are selfless, you put yourself behind everybody else intentionally, and you form a self-hate or self-loathing in your brain about yourself. You don't like yourself. You lower your self-esteem when you do that, right? And I think a lot of people find that to be honorable, right? They say, oh, wow, you're putting yourself before other people. That's really good. Yeah, it can be. It can be very good if it's a sacrifice. But if it's not a sacrifice that you're making, then it's just rude to yourself, right? There's a difference. If you put others before you as a sacrifice, that's a beautiful thing. That's what love is. But if you put others before you just as a habit, or just as I don't think I'm as good as other people say, or I don't think I'm a very good person compared to these other people. If you're continuously doing that and there's no sacrifice to it, then that is just, I'm sorry, but it's just wrong. If you give other people credit for stuff and you don't give yourself credit for it, of the stuff you do, right? And you just talked about this, you're going to just hate yourself. And that's not good. So the way to work around that is you go in the middle, right? You think about humility. A lot of people say humility is putting others before you, and that's not true. That's selflessness. Humility is understanding the value of each individual and God and plants and animals and everything. Understanding their value. Spiders, and living your life accordingly. Recognizing, hey, we are all human. We are all equally loved. We are all created. We are equal. So if I give someone else the joy of accomplishment by saying, hey, nicely done, I should do that for myself as well, right? If I appreciate somebody else, I should appreciate the qualities that I inhibit within myself the same way, right? And I think that that's super important. That's humility. Humility is understanding our values and that we are equal, right? And then you can make a sacrifice, and your sacrifice means more. What I mean by that is this. Let's talk about like legitimate sacrifice, right? You take, you make a farm, and you have all these crops, right? And you take all the corn that didn't quite come out right, and you're like, oh yeah, this isn't very good. I guess I'll just sacrifice this stuff and I'll eat the good stuff, right? And so you go to God and you're like, here's all this corn. Yeah, you're welcome. And it's like, God's going to look at it and be like, seriously? All right, thanks. But okay, like you gave me the least valuable thing you could. You weren't even going to eat that corn anyway. It's hardly a sacrifice, right? Now, think of that way. Now think of that in yourself. If you don't find value in yourself and you put others before you, what are you doing? You're not doing a great sacrifice, because you're not sacrificing anything great. Because you've already determined that you're the lowest denominator. You're the lowest stock of corn, right? you don't think you're very good, and you're giving that to somebody else. Now, on the other hand, let's say you give the best corn as sacrifice. That has meaning, right? That's like, I wanted to eat that, but I chose not to. I chose to give it to you because I love you, right? Then it's a big deal. So when you think highly of yourself and you make a sacrifice, if you recognize, hey, I'm just as valuable as another person, and I'm going to, anyways, even though we're equal and we both deserve the same things, right? I'm going to make the sacrifice so that they have it and I don't. It means a whole lot more, right? Because you recognize it's not my place to do this, but I'm going to anyways because this is what love is, because this is what I'm choosing, right? And so if you value yourself, I think that it makes everything else that you do mean a lot more when you make a sacrifice. So it's important to value yourself and realize that we as humans are equal, and we should act that way. Not to say, hey, if they get this, then I should get this too, but more so on a level of just how much you love that person and how much you should act out love towards yourself, right? It's important to make sacrifices for yourself too. It's called fasting, right? And that's really helpful. So anyways, but with the thing that Joe was talking about before, like if you're selfless, that's not good. And if you're prideful or you're selfish, right? That's not good either. In the middle is humility and charity. See, charity is when you give from yourself because you recognize this other person is in need, right? You aren't focusing on how is this charity going to make me look. Some people do. It's called tax evasion. You're welcome. But anyways, no, when we are being charitable, right, we're giving from our wealth to somebody else, right? If we as human beings are a gift to this world. I think a lot of times society likes to spin it and say we're the bad guys. That is not true. Humans have the authority to create wildlife and abundance. There are more plants now than there were before humans began. And you might not believe that's true, but it is, especially because we make them ad nauseum. Like, we make so many plants for people, and we eat them, and we feed them to animals. We do animal shelters. We help animals who are in need other than ourselves, right? We utilize the minerals in the earth that no one else does, like fuel oils and stuff like that, right? To do what? To create, transportation, which creates what? All sorts of different stuff, but ultimately more food for the earth and possibly a better earth, right? We have to concentrate on that. We have to say, okay, we want to make the world a better place in order to do that, but that's understanding humility. That's being charitable, right? That's giving from our wealth. And so humans have this beautiful ability to do this. But when we aren't thinking about that, I think we end up becoming selfish, or selfless, right? So we have to give from our wealth. And that could even be, it could be anything, right? But we humans are a gift to the world. Our very existence is a gift. Everything we do in the world is a gift to the world. When you spend time with a person, that's a gift. That's a sacrifice sometimes, right? Sometimes it's not easy to spend some time with somebody. And you're like, I'm going to do it anyways. That's a gift, right? That's an act of love. It's charitable. It's not about making yourself lower than them. When you spend time with somebody in order to give it to them as a gift, right? You're making that sacrifice for them, saying, hey, I'm going to take my time out of my day, and I'm going to give it to you, right? You're not doing that because you're selfish, and you're not doing that because you're selfless. You're doing that out of charity. You're recognizing you're recognizing what you're doing. It's different than having an accomplishment and saying, oh no, that wasn't me. That was all of you guys. You guys did it. I totally can relate to that. When you achieve something and then you just push it on to other people, or if people give you compliments, you just go, no, I'm not very good compared to this person, right? And I think that instead what we should do is be charitable. So when someone gives us that, we should accept that gift, right? If someone compliments us, we should go, thank you. I appreciate that. We should let them know that we appreciate that. Why? That makes them feel a lot better than if you go, oh yeah, but someone else is better. It makes them feel like what they just said is nothing to you. People go out of their way to make compliments. When you have an achievement, own up to it, right? When you achieve something great, be like, yeah, that was me. I did that. That's awesome. Thanks be to God. I'm glad I'm here and I'm get to share my accomplishments with the world, right? Let's take this accomplishment and now spread it. Let's figure out a way to make it useful to everybody, right? Now you're no longer getting hung up over, self-interest. You're taking something of value and you're making it even more valuable, right? Now, I think it's important to go to spread the praise. Like if I get rewarded for doing something and I recognize, hey, this other person helped out a lot too, we should be thanking them as well. I think that you absolutely should, right? Always thank everybody. If you get any praise, distribute that praise, right? But don't throw it away. You have to accept it in order for it to be useful. If you get praised and you say, oh, no, I barely did anything. It was this other person. They did a lot. And that's wrong. That's false. That person who just received you saying it, like the person that you just pointed to say, oh no, he did a lot more, knows the truth. And they're going to be like, I don't accept that compliment at all either. No, you get what I'm saying? So you have to accept the praise before you can give it to anybody else. Because if you don't, and you just throw it at other people, that praise now means nothing because you've taken it and you've diminished all the meaning behind it, and then you've given it to other people. So you have to be really careful when you do that kind of stuff. I think ultimately the best thing you can do for yourself when it comes to like this whole area of life of just pride and humility and how to get to be more humble and do away with pride, I think a lot of it is on track with what Joe was saying, and that is to love, and also to acknowledge the values of other people and act accordingly. Just live a humble life. And humble doesn't mean making yourself look bad. Humble doesn't mean, humble doesn't mean you have to wear the worst kind of clothing and rags or whatever and go live on the streets, even though some people do that. And I think that's beautiful. Humility is more so recognizing where you stand within all creation and acting righteously according to that. And I think that what that does is it makes yourself a gift to the world, and people can notice. People notice when you are living humbly. People aren't going, wow, that person's so wow, that person's so humble, when all you do is make fun of yourself. No, when you are humble and it can be in anything, but it's you take every kind of praise they throw at you with this generous, understanding, and you accept it and you love them for it. And then you just take it and you gush all over everything else. And they're going, wow, that person's so humble, right? And so I think we recognize other people who are humble, and it makes us feel good when we're around humble people. And I think we have to try to do the same thing. It's not about making ourselves look bad. It's not about diminishing how good we look. It's not about worrying about how we look. If you're going to worry about others. Worry about how others feel, how others look, or rather, worry about how much you are loving them, because that's the only thing you can do. You can't change other people's appearance. You can't. You can't change the way other people look or smell or anything, right? They do that to themselves. You can't change the way other people think about themselves or the way that they think of you, except by one thing, through your interaction. But that interaction is best when it's a loving one, because that guides them in the right path. To love someone is desire the best for them, right? And so if your actions are like, hey, I'm desiring the best for you, and you bring that out in them, then they're going to like themselves a lot more. They're going to like other people a lot more. They're going to feel a lot better about their lives. Maybe they'll even smell better. You know? But anyways, my point is, if you focus on rather than worrying about how people are feeling, how people are understanding the situation, how you think about yourself and how other people think about themselves, how other people think about you, all that kind of stuff. Instead of worrying about all that, worry about one thing. Am I loving? You just worry about that one thing. And things should align themselves pretty quickly. If you act that out in your daily life, I think that is the number one thing that will set you on the path to humility, on the path to no longer worrying about what other people think of you. But sorry, I talked for like a really hot minute. Joe, do you have anything else you want to add to that?
Just one little piece, and it's because Saula, you said at the very end of your post, that even if I do become the best at something, God is still better. Kind of makes it hard to try, even if I'm glad that God is better. And I just wanted to point out that, to go right along with what Ryan was just saying there at the end, we really, truly, I mean, if you believe in God, basically his law is to love God and to love your neighbor. That's it. That's our primary responsibility while we are here on this earth. To love God and to love your neighbor. Notice that be loved by your neighbor is not one of those things.
Fair.
Because sometimes when you love someone, and like Ryan has said so succinctly before, to love another person is to desire the best for them. Right? So, and I recently kind of had this insight, and it was like, if I love someone, I'm going to do whatever I can to help them out, right? I'm going to do whatever I can to do something for them. But then it was like, wait a second. If I love someone and I just give them everything they want, what does
They'll
that
become
turn?
complacent.
Well, not only that, but like, okay, let's take it with kids. What happens with kids if you give them everything they want?
Spoiled brats.
Exactly.
You spoil them, and it's not very loving to do that, actually.
Right. Now, we are all God's children. So clearly, God does not want us to be spoiled brats. So that's why we don't always get everything we want. Because he knows that we would turn into spoiled little rotten little brats, right?
Yeah, totally.
So here's the key. Love others. Don't be concerned with whether they love you back or not. And ideally, you will be free from that concern. Now, it's going to take some time because we kind of have this desire for acceptance, this desire to be loved and accepted by others. That is kind of baked into us. We desire that so much. And it's almost like we flip the equation back on itself and we say, okay, if I love other people, the result is they're going to love me. So we kind of subconsciously think this, like if I love them effectively, if I'm doing it right, then they will reciprocate that love. But that's not necessarily true.
It's not always true.
That's not. In fact, there's many times when it's not true, especially if you're actually looking out for what's best for another person. Because so many times I know in my life, what's best for me is not what I want. It's not at all what I want. The things I want would make me lazy. They would.
Yep.
So I am deprived of many of those things, so I continue to work hard because I've got stuff to do. But this is going to take some time, so don't expect this to happen overnight. But the ideal thing, and try and stick this somewhere in the back of your mind, your goal is not to be loved by other people. Your goal is not to be accepted by the group. It's not. It's not to not upset somebody. Because sometimes we speak a truth into somebody's life and it makes them really upset. sometimes that's the best thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it might get them to examine what they're doing and fix it if it's a problem for them. And that could be really, really good and beneficial for them. But at the time, it kind of stings a little bit and it's a little bit painful. So they don't like it. So they get mad and they get upset, right? But it was still a loving thing for you to do, to point that out. So the key is love God, love your neighbor, and don't be concerned with whether they love you back or not. And in fact, just expect that many people are not going to love you back. I've learned to expect that. I've learned to expect that, you know what? If I try and do the right things, if I try and follow the path that I'm on and do what I want to do, people are going to ridicule me. They're going to gossip about me behind my back. They're going to misunderstand what I'm doing. They're going to deride me in front of my children. All kinds of things are going to happen. But you know what? It doesn't make the path the wrong path. It just makes them ignorant of all the facts. They just don't know. That's okay. I can still love them and I can still pursue what I feel I'm meant to pursue. And if they love me back, great. If they don't, I'm sorry. But I still love you and I'm still going to follow the path I have set out for me. So if you can kind of get that in your head, eventually, as you fit, now the problem is to strengthen this, you're going to go through a lot of people being mad at you, a lot of people deriding you, a lot of people talking bad about you, a lot of people, you're going to deal with rejection. There's going to be all kinds of stuff you go through that builds this character of strength of being able to say, I love you and I don't care if you love me back or not. You know, you don't have to say that loud to them.
That line is huge, though. Could you imagine saying it to anybody? Like, that's a brilliant line. I love you, and I don't care if you love me back or not. Like, that line, that just demands respect. You know, it's just like, whoa. Sorry, what? You know, yeah.
Yep. It does not matter if they love you back.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is that you love them. That's the thing to focus on. So anyway, you're amazing, Saula.
Yeah.
And the fact that you are asking this question and the fact that you are going through this internal battle, that alone is a sign of incredible growth as a human being. Because you're having this, and anybody else that's here listening to this, if you are also having this internal struggle between pride and humility, the fact that you are aware of it says so much about your character. I can't even begin to say how important that is and how much you are already so far ahead of so many people just because you're already asking these questions. You're already trying to figure these answers out. Now, understand this is going to be a journey. It's going to be, it's not going to happen overnight, like I said. But remember that ideal. Love others without concern whether they love you back. I love you and I don't care if you love me back. If you can start to say that in your head, that goes way beyond just, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love this person, I love this person, I love this person. And when you add that, I love this person and I don't care if they love me back or not. Does not matter. That adds a whole new layer to it. And you'll find yourself being comfortable and a person of posture in any situation. You will be a person, you will have confidence like you never had before. When you get that drilled into your head, it's going to be amazing for you. So
nice. I
hope that helps you, Saula. And I know we've talked for a while on this topic, but it was such an important topic. This is so huge. And I'm so proud of you. I can't even begin to describe. It's awesome. Yeah. So Ryan,
no, actually, I absolutely agree. I mean, one last thing I want to say is that right now, I mean, the current culture in the world, whether you're from America or outside, is this wanting to be loved culture. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you flip that on its head and you just say, I'm the one that loves, I don't care if I'm not worried about whether people love me or not. You end up fixing the problem, because people who want to be loved never feel loved for very long.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know why? Because it only lasts an interaction. It only lasts one interaction as long as that love lasts. You know, it's because it's a choice. It's an action. It's a thought, or maybe an experience, a feeling. But all of those are fleeting.
Sorry. Did you see Solo's coming? This is the fourth, one last thing on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Hey, you're welcome. Deal with it. You
I
like
wasn't
it.
laughing at your I'm so sorry, Ryan.
All
that
good.
was
But yeah, I mean, the current culture, the current, I guess, ideology, whatever, of the world is to be loved. You have all of these movements, from LGBTQ to women's rights to Black Lives Matters to anything going on in the world. There's so much of it is love me. I just want to be treated as an equal. I want to be loved. I want to know that you guys desire me in this world. But the funny thing is, as soon as you stop worrying about all that and you start to be the person who loves regardless, you start to drop all of those things and you go, I know I'm loved. I don't need to be told. Out of your love that you give, you feel and receive love. Out of the love that you give, you fulfill yourself in that giving, because we were made to give, not to receive, because we were made as physical beings that are capable of giving, you know, and that's amazing, right? We are capable of adding to the world. And that's why we feel so much more fulfilled when we do so than when we just take and hold on to all of this stuff, right? We can never have enough stuff to fulfill ourselves. But as soon as we start giving, we actually feel this sense of joy that lasts more than the pleasure which the object brings, right? You know, I think it's so important to just drop all of the silly nonsense of the world that is the like, love me, accept me type of thing that's not working for them. And just go, you know what? I'm going to be a person who loves. I'm going to be a person who gives, and realize, oh, there's so much peace in that. And I'm no longer craving this anymore. I'm just giving, and that's enough for me, right? I think that that's super important. So anyways, thank you again, Saul, for asking this question. I think it's a great one. And I sorry for dragging it out one last thing for fifth time, whatever.
One last thing. Pancakes
yep.
are not the answer.
Not what?
The answer.
Oh, not the answer.
Waffles.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch of pancake fans in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
what we're gonna do with,
no, I'm just
with
kidding.
you guys.
I like them both, but I prefer
lead to
waffles.
ruin. Yes, I don't mind eating pancakes.
Yeah, I'm not exclusive.
I just prefer. Maybe it's because of the memories. You know, Ryan and I spent a lot of time on the road going to different cheap hotels, continental breakfast, and every single one of them, you know, they got in there. They got that iron thing.
Yeah, what do you do? You gotta give me some of that waffle. Yeah, no, honestly, the memories. And there's nothing quite like just like homemade waffle at a holiday and hotel, whatever.
Holiday or Red Roof
or whatever.
Cheap hotel.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yep.
Anyways, sorry guys. Yeah, my chat was frozen for quite a while, so I didn't receive any of those comments. So
oh, really?
I'm gonna reread through them now. But thanks for letting us carry on for your topic for 45 minutes. It's okay though.
We'll see if we can do another one. Let's see. How about that?
Yeah, we totally can. We had another 45-minute. Yeah, totally. Okay. Well, we definitely have one from Blue. We also, I think we had, Princess suggested one from a long while back. It was,
I don't think they're there.
15th Ghost. So Blue is actually here. Was there any other ones that came in?
Yeah, Jax came in about 10 minutes after Blues. So
okay, cool. Yeah, I see it right here.
So we'll yep. So maybe we can get to both of them. What do you think?
Working out, I think that's right on your line. Joe, you're good at working out daily. So yeah, okay, let's start with blues then. We'll do a quick one for blue and a quick one for, well, hopefully
Blue
we'll see.
says you're welcome to do Jack's first.
Oh, okay, let's do Jack's first then.
Okay.
Let's go for it. Thanks, Blue.
Yeah.
So, Princess, if you know where the topic is, you can read it. Oh, perfect. I think she has a.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, here we are. All right. So this one is titled "Motivation to Work Out." Motivation to work out, and it comes from Jack. So, feel free to read along as Princess does so with her beautiful voice.
Saula just. I'm retroactively going, hey, what's up with your mama that?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
I've been trying to work out daily for a while now, which is not something I'm used to. But I have been struggling to find the motivation whenever I go to work out. How can I find the motivation? From Jack.
Yeah, I've been trying to work out. It's hard. How do you get the motivation to do something that isn't necessarily it doesn't feel good? I think that there is a sense of feel goodness to it, but a lot of times workout it's hard. You're going through something that you generally don't want to do to improve your life later. And one of the principles to success in anything is an investment, right? When it comes to happiness versus pleasure, they're two different things, right? Happiness is sustained beyond the activity which produces it. Pleasure is a thing that it's like, I'm gonna watch TV. You sit down, you watch TV, and you're pleasured while the TV's on and you're watching it. And once the TV's off, you're like, yeah, now I'm bored. While happiness doesn't work that way. You do something that you know is the right thing to do. It helps you out. It makes you a better version of yourself. And after you get done doing it, you stay happy. Because you're happy with yourself. You're satisfied with your actions, right? So I think that right away, that's one important lesson that can hopefully help you to desire it more. Obviously, you know that, right? But to re-put that in your mind, I think can sometimes give you that like, oh yeah, but I should do this because I want to be happy later. Like when I'm done, I know I'm going to be happy about what I did. And that's just, one of the things, but I'm sure Joe has a lot on this because he does this daily. And I'm really excited to see what he's got about it. So take it away, Joe.
Daily, there are rest days baked into that too. So yeah.
Okay. He does exercise. He does an exercise regimen throughout his week.
Yes.
How's that
yes,
sound?
Thank you. Yes, that's much better because there are rest days. It's important to take days off or have light days. Where you
Just
you
like with running
so much. Yep, absolutely. So you want to just but one of the keys there, I think, is having a program to follow, or having some kind of organized plan to your workouts, rather than, like, for me, I had to do this. This is what actually catapulted me into where I am now, where I have made this a habit in my life, right? I first started off, like, I got a wake up call when I was climbing up some stairs. I've said this story before on here, but I got this wake up call when I was climbing the stairs in an inspection, and I was winded at the top of the stairs. And I just walked up them. I hadn't run up them or nothing. I just walked up some stairs. And I was like, oh, trying to catch my breath there. And, and I realized, when I knew that my driver's license was going to be renewed that year, and it was coming up real close. And so I was like, well, they're going to ask me for my height and my weight. And so I weighed myself. And that was another part of the wake up call too, where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like pushing 200 pounds here, and I'm not that tall of a person. Like, and it's not like I'm stacked with muscles to justify this 200 pounds, right? Like, if I was built like Barry Sanders, those of you who don't know, he's a football player.
Barry Sanders, that came out of nowhere. That's awesome. Great reference.
But I just remember him because he was about my height and he was like 210 pounds, but it was all muscle.
Huge.
It was just like his arms were huge. His legs were huge.
He was like this wide.
Yeah. He was a running back for the Detroit Lions back in the 90s. And yeah, the guy was just, he was like a short truck.
Yeah,
right?
people would try to like tackle him and stop him, and he'd just run through him. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not stopping for you."
He could do that, but his real strength was his jukes.
Yeah,
Like
he was super
he
jukey.
had
Like,
this like
yeah,
quickness about him. But anyway, that's beside the point. That was just an illustration of saying I didn't have that, but I was pushing that weight, that height and weight ratio, and it was not
not muscle.
not muscle. So at any rate, here I started working out. I started getting up early and working out. And one of the things I did was I set myself a goal. I was like, if I do this regularly for 30 days, if I get up and I exercise, even if it's just stretching for 30 days, that proves to me that I have a commitment, and I will go get a gym membership at the end of this. Because at that point, I was just working out at my house. I wasn't willing to go and spend a whole bunch of money for something I wasn't committed to. But then I was like, all right, if I do this for 30 days, it shows me that I'm committed. I will feel comfortable going and getting a membership at a gym where they have a pool that I can swim, because that's what I really wanted to do to work out, was swim. Then life gets busy, and it's like, I don't have time to swim because that's a huge time commitment, because you got to change clothes, you got to take a shower, you got to go get in the pool, you got to swim your laps, and then you come out and you got to take another shower, and then you got to sit in the hot tub, you got to sit in the steam room, and you got to
Oh, yeah,
do all that
gotta.
stuff, right? You got to do all that stuff. And then you get
And-
out and you've been there for forever, right? And so then like nothing's getting done because you're spending all your time at this, at the gym. But so then I came across some program. Princess says you don't have to.
Oh, yeah, you
It's
do.
true.
Yeah,
It's true. You don't have to, but you're there, so you might as well. You're paying for all these amenities, and it's like, oh, but it's nice too. Yes, that's true. So here's the key though that I found in this, because when I was swimming, I didn't have a program. I didn't have a structured workout. Like I would go and I'm like, okay, I'm going to swim this amount of yards. I'm going to go this many laps or whatever, right? And I'm going to break it down like this. But I didn't actually have it built into like a weekly, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do Monday, this is what I'm going to do Tuesday, this is what I'm going to do Wednesday. Actually, Wednesday I'm going to rest. Thursday, Friday, I didn't have it broken down. It was just kind of like, I'll just go when I can. And then, and it was not consistent at all. And so then I kind of fell out of it. And then I came across, I was really trying to figure out, I'm like, I got to figure out, how do I get as much benefit from a small amount of time, because I'm busy, and it'd be really awesome if it didn't require lots of equipment. And I came across these guys that put together this program called HIIT Academy, HIIT Academy.com. You can go there and you can find workouts. Now they have a plan that you can actually buy. It's like $20, right? Or $18 or something like that. And you get a full 2-month program of workouts. And so I bought it because I was like, that's less than my gym membership per month. And I get 2 months of workouts that I can do at home. And they're all like 20 minutes, which is perfect. 20 minutes. Ah, it was beautiful. And the way they had it set up, I got better results from them than I had ever gotten before in my life. They really have a good lock on high intensity interval training, which is the best, fat burning exercise programs you can do, because it kicks your body into oxygen deprivation, which then causes you to just burn through fat. Like you just like become this fat scorching machine while you're at rest, like after you're working out.
nice.
So it's really cool. But so thank you, Princess. You'll actually see me on their program. Like I'm actually one of their success stories or whatever. So here's some stuff. Now I found a program by a guy named Igor Voitenko. If you go to Next Workout on YouTube, you'll be able to find all the links to everything that he does. And his stuff is free. And it's still in that range of like 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the workouts you're doing that day. And Princess, complete with picture. Yeah, thanks, Princess. She put that in there. And well, and then if you go to the program, you actually see, you'll see my before and after pictures and everything. Like if you go to like get with the program or whatever,
Yeah, one of them he has more hair.
Yes, I have more hair. Yep, exactly. The guy's name again for YouTube, Igor Voitenko. Next Workout is his channel. And if you
That guy's
go,
a success story.
it's
If
amazing.
you go to his, that's awesome. I like just if you go to his channel, you can find it on YouTube. There it is. Thanks, Princess. Right off the bat, his opening video is like his life, and I think that it's really awesome. It's quite inspiring. So,
Yep, he's very good. And if you go to igorvoitenko.com, so if you go to that YouTube, you'll see how to spell his name. on his website, he's got a 28-day workout program and a 30-day workout program, and they're posted there for free. And all you do is you click that day. He's got a couple different workouts you would do, and you click the workout, and it's a YouTube video of him doing the workout, and you just work out with him. So you see exactly how to do something. So you know, and you see exactly what happens, and you know how to do these things. Now, some of the music, there are a couple swear words that come out in some of the music, but here's what I do. I take a calendar. Thank you, Princess. I take a calendar and I have marked on there. Okay, this is day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And I do that throughout the calendar. So I know what day I'm on, And I actually, so like if I started on the 22nd, I write a 1 on the 22nd, and then I write a 2 on the 23rd, and then a 3, right? It just goes like that until I'm done with the program. And then as I do each workout, I cross that day off. So now I have a program. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how it's going to happen, and I track my progress. Those are things that have kept me focused on doing this again and again and again, and just like, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to check that day off. And following a program like that has been so key to me sticking with it. Another thing you can do is I would recommend every 2 weeks, take a picture of yourself in the mirror. For me, I don't know. I would just take a picture of yourself in the mirror, so you can see your progress. And what happens is, as you're on a program like this, and also look on Igor's website about the eating thing, because he talks about food and eating. Like, that's hugely important if you're going to be, doing any of this kind of stuff. You want the right fuel for your body. But that can motivate you as well as you see your progress. So basically, the keys to motivating yourself to do this consistently are going to be ways to track your progress through the calendar, through having an actual program to follow, through having something where it's planned out for a certain amount of time, right? And then being able to check off those days to see your progress so you can actually watch yourself progress through the thing. And then to take some selfies of yourself as you go through it to actually see, wow, this actually has made a difference. My arms are bigger than they were 2 weeks ago. Huh, my stomach's a little smaller than it was 2 weeks ago. I'm noticing I've got less fat behind my ears. What the heck? That's weird.
Sorry, I've never experienced any of this. I didn't know that was a thing.
But at any rate, that's what I do. And hopefully, Jack says, I normally try to run on a treadmill, do push-ups, squats, and sit-ups each day at home. with weekends as rest days. That's great. That's actually those 3 strength exercises, the push-ups, the squats, and the sit-ups are wonderful. Are absolutely wonderful. And those work between those 3, you will work about every muscle in your body. You will. Now, one thing that might get a little neglected in that regimen is stuff for your back. Consider, especially like your upper back. So you might do something where you sit flat against the wall and you put your arms flat against the wall and you just go up and down like this. And what that does is that strengthens all this stuff in your upper back and it kind of pulls your shoulders back. So with all the push-ups you're doing, you don't give yourself a shoulder injury. But you also have to work out those upper back muscles in order to, kind of keep your shoulders from getting some problems. I always dealt with shoulder problems from doing too many push-ups and neglecting my upper back. So that's just something to kind of watch out for. But also on the treadmill, I would encourage also, this is one thing you can do, and this will help you with progress rather than just kind of getting on there and running for a certain amount of time, just for a long time. Do some intervals in your treadmill, like go fast for 30 seconds and then go slow down to almost a walk for 30 seconds and then go fast again for 30 seconds and then over time increase the amount of time going fast and decrease the amount of time going slow. So you kind of change the interval, like, so you go 30 seconds fast, 30 seconds slow, 30 seconds fast, 30 seconds slow, 30 seconds fast, 30 seconds slow. And then you bump it 35 seconds fast, 25 seconds slow, 35 seconds fast, 25, and then keep bumping that up in increments. What that does is that also shows you another area of progress. So the way I find to stay motivated, the best way is to bake in areas where I can move forward. So it's not just, I'm going back doing this again, same thing again, find ways to make it progressive. So anyway, that's a lot. I'm so sorry I talked for so long, but hopefully that gave you enough to go on. I just spewed a bunch of words at you. So Ryan, please save us all from me.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm here to save you all. Welcome to my show. No, get out of here, Joe. No. Okay. So honestly, I really shouldn't talk on this. I think this is what Joe said is great. I don't exercise. I'm gonna be honest. I should, but I don't, so I'm not gonna talk on it. I will say that though, if you're trying to get motivated for something, I'll give you some advice. One, for me, all I have to do is one thing and I can motivate myself. When it comes to exercise, when it comes to doing something, anything, I ask, who am I? All right, let's go. That's it. That's all I need to tell myself. If ever I'm at a conflict of like, I immediately just go, if I want to motivate myself, I just say, Ryan, who are you? All right, let's go. Because I recognize that I am who I am going to be based on the things that I do, right? If I go like, maybe it's not who I am right now, but who I want to be. What I do is going to determine who I become, right? So, because the way that I act is going to train my subconscious mind. The way that I think even is going to train my subconscious mind. And that's going to determine how I act to people, how I act to myself, how I act out in scenarios, whatever. Whenever I'm uncomfortable or when I am comfortable, the things I do, right? All those things matter. And you train those on a daily basis. And it's through the actions that you choose or refuse to choose. And so if I just ask myself, all right, who am I? My only answer can be, all right, let's go, let's do this. Because I know that I immediately know what's right and what's wrong when I ask that question. What's right being, I should do this thing because one, a lot of times it's like when I don't want to do something, that usually means I should do it. Mm-hmm. When it comes to these type of things, right? It's like, I don't really want to do that. Oh, Ryan, you just said you didn't want to do it. you have to do it now, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Dang it. All right, let's go. Let's do it. You know, that's kind of how I motivate myself. It's just because I recognize that what I do on a daily basis determines who I become. And I want to become someone that is a gift to the world, that is a gift to you guys, that can help other people in need, that can be happy with themselves inside, right? Because not all of us are. Sometimes I'm not. And it's a lot of times when I've chosen not to do the things I know that I should do, right? If I choose not to, I'm not happy with myself. I want to be happy with myself, right? So if I just ask myself, hey, who are you? Who do you want to become? This is part of it right here. This is part of it. Let's go. And then I just go, right? I just do it. I just start. Right after that line, I just start. No ifs, ands, and buffs, no buts, no arguing with myself, no just going, but maybe I'll do it later. No, none of that. Just go. And I think that that's for me how I motivate myself best to do anything. I think another thing is, how interested are you in it? And if it doesn't seem like you're interested enough, you just need to spend more time getting interested. It's not the subject that's wrong, it's your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to math, right? Maybe you don't like math. I didn't for a long time. Then all of a sudden I started coding stuff for like video games, and I realized I had to create the new formulas for I'm not like deep code, mostly like really light, easy code. Jesse can confirm. But I had to create these problems, this mathematical situations. And I'm like, this is kind of fun. And now that I've done that, I actually like math. I used to dislike history. Then history was shown to me in a personal way, like, hey, these are people that did these things. Let's get into their life. Let's talk about the people rather than the events. Then it became interesting to me. Then I started to care about the events because they meant something, right? When it comes to any subject, including exercise, including diets, including anything, including faith especially, if you don't like it, it's because you don't understand it enough yet. Pretty much that's it. For a lot of things, including shaving. Yeah. Apparently I don't do that anymore. So when
you shave your forehead pretty good.
Yeah. That's the only place I shave. Heck, man.
You do a good job maintaining.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I do a good job on my ears too. What? Yeah, and the bottom of my foot, I shave that area pretty nicely. And my palm, look, like no hair. Okay, so anyways, when it's a topic that, like, if it's exercising and it's like, oh, I don't want to do it, and I recognize it's because I have no ambition, it's because I don't want to, right? It's because I'm not interested in it. Here's the thing. I want to exercise, but the way I want to do is I want to go ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about doing that when the crisis uplifts. When the crisis uplifts, I'm actually going to register myself. I'm going to go find a place where I can go ice skating every week.
It'll probably be.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Huh?
It'll probably be winter then.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Either way, I enjoy ice skating a lot. And that's a form of exercise. But I don't enjoy exercise. My issue isn't that exercise is bad. My issue is that I haven't figured out why I like exercising enough. Because you can learn to like exercising. You can learn to love the concept, but you have to learn about it first. You have to start to do some research. You have to start to do some experimentations with yourself and noticing results. You have to do those things before you can start to really get into it. And once you get into it, then it becomes a sense of, you can be proud of doing it, right? It's not just some boring task that you've set yourself to do for muscles or physique. It becomes something like, I do it because I enjoy the concept, right? I enjoy this sort of stuff. Your mentality about it has flipped so that you're doing something that, even though it's hard and maybe difficult, maybe it's hard on the body, so it doesn't feel good at the time, you still enjoy it in your head. And that enjoyment of your brain gives you the motivation and desire to pursue it even more, to pursue it farther, pursue it to the point of actually physically taking act in the exercise. So that's my bit. I can't recommend too much beyond that because, like I said, I don't exercise myself, even though I know I should. I think that if I'm going to make a recommendation, I should at least do it. So, yeah, there you go. Hopefully that's helpful. Joe, did you have anything else you wanted to add to that or not?
I think probably to go along with what you were saying is just remember why you're doing it. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Convince yourself to do it by remembering why. And I have a few different whys why I continue to exercise and work out. One is because I know that when I stop working out, I've done this. If I take more than a week off of exercise, and my mind starts going places, and I start, like it's like the energy that I use while working out, it directs itself in all kinds of ways that I don't want to go. Right? I start thinking wrong, all kinds of stuff. Right? So when I exercise consistently, it keeps my mind on track. Another thing is like, I want to be an example. I've got 2 kids. I want to be an example of, somebody who's in decent health, at least in good shape, and so if they ever wanted to pursue getting in good shape, then I would be a person that they could come to and ask. I want to put myself in a position where, that's something that I can do with them. And that's actually kind of how this whole thing started. Because about the time I was having my wake up call, my kids got involved in Taekwondo.
Right.
And then I started doing that with them too. And that was a lot of fun, and it has been for a few years. And actually it was funny. Like I tell me in the chat if I should do this for my next test, but my instructor called me actually, and he said, "Hey, your test on Zoom," because we do all of our tests on Zoom right now. He said, "So if you have any friends, just give them the link to the Zoom meeting and they can come watch." And so I seriously thought about putting it up on like Discord and like, sending it out to people, all my friends and everything to see, hey, if you guys want to come watch me do my test, come watch. It might be really boring.
This huge, like, imagine if I did that. And so then what I ended up doing was I just invited everybody on YouTube and got like 10,000 people to show up on Zoom. Like, what is going on?
That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna send it to like everybody.
Yeah, of course.
But like just to the people that I know. And I feel like I know like all you guys. A lot of you guys, I'm friends with you guys on Discord. And I have open DMs with you guys or whatever. And so I, just send it to you guys. But yeah, so that was one of the things I was like, oh, I could do that. I wonder how many people would actually want to watch me punch the air and kick the air.
Ooh, teach it a lesson. Yeah.
So I don't know, but we just had this test recently. So, but
oh, good. That's cool.
For my
your
black belt, it won't. That probably won't be streamed. That's gonna have to be an in-person test.
Yeah, it has to be an in-person test, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you actually have to break board and stuff like that. That's not doable and to the air, unfortunately.
Right. That's you
can try to break an air board.
Oh, well, we do the board breaking techniques. Just we don't actually break the boards.
It's like a water board, except for it's the air.
It was hilarious. Hey, Jack, thank you so much for the topic. And
yeah,
I would just say, remember why? Make it something that you can feel progress in, that you can make some progress in. And that ought to do a lot to keep you motivated to do it. And yeah, I always listen to music. I love it. And one of these days, like actually, I've been sitting there really seriously thinking about this with all the stuff I've learned from Hit Academy and with Igor Voitenko and some of the other guys. There's a guy who has a website called Athlean X, and I've learned a lot from him too. And it kind of takes some of the good and trim off some of the stuff that didn't seem to work all that great for me, and kind of bake it into a series of just like 20-minute workouts that I can then do. And so then anytime somebody's like, hey, what do I do if I want to work out? Well, hey, go to this channel, work out with me.
There you go.
And we'll have some fun together. So
yeah, I actually watched this stream on people playing Hero of the Storm, and they would take breaks between every match. It was him and I think his girlfriend or wife or whatever. I don't know. They would play together, and between every match that they played, they would do an exercise. And they would be like just like a 5-10 minute workout. And then it was funny because they'd like spread this curtain that was a green screen or whatever it was, and then they go and they do their workout and they got their little gym behind them. And then once it was done, they'd be like, all right, guys, let's play some games again.
Nice.
I was like, that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Good.
And the way that they organized it was like, hey guys, do this along with us, and I thought that was kind of cool. So people that frequent their streams know the regimen, and they were exercising with them, and I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
Well, because if you're just sitting there playing video games for a long time, I mean, wouldn't it be better? I'll tell you, you would probably play for longer. You could, because you'd have more energy to do this kind of stuff if you exercised a little bit here and there.
Fair.
It actually gives you more energy.
It does. Yeah, for sure. Unless it's like a strenuous workout and you just like, you're so pooped. You're just like, But yeah.
I do remember after a fairly rigorous, I was doing some Krav Maga. It was like my first Krav Maga. That's a self-defense. That's Israeli self-defense class that I took at the martial arts school. And that's hard. Like they purposefully put you into fatigue. Like, so you
before you start. Yeah.
Yes. And then, so like they'll have you, there are some exercises they'll do. They'll be like, okay, first of all, we're going to get you out of breath and exhausted. And then we're going to have these people surround you and attack you. And so then you got to fight your way out while you're exhausted. And then another one they did was like, this is my first day. I'm like, dude, I don't know any of this stuff. It's like, okay, I need you to look at that spot on the floor, spin around 10 times. So then you're like
disoriented,
super disoriented. And then somebody's there punching at your face while you're and your job is to slap their hand away, like while they're punching at your face.
That's awesome.
So they train you
so intense
in all these weird scenarios. Like, okay, you might be disoriented, you might be exhausted, but you're going to have to be trained to defend yourself in all that types of situations. Right. And here's the thing the instructor said as I was leaving. He's like, you are not going to go to sleep for a while. Just be prepared for that, because your body is so full of adrenaline that even though you're exhausted, right? You're full of adrenaline. So you're not going to be able to sleep for a while. So just understand that. Don't freak out when you can't fall asleep.
Nice. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Nice. So I think that, I don't know if we have time for another one. I know it's getting closer to our mark, but it's not. It's like we got like 20 minutes or something. Nope, less. We've got only 6 minutes. So I think that's all right. We will hold off on Blue Dragon's topic for next time, which is great.
Yeah. Blue Dragon, you're coming back next Wednesday, right?
Yeah, you better. Else I'm gonna
defend the waffles.
Oh, he's gonna tell you that waffles.
I'll defend the waffles. I'll fire waffles at your pancakes.
Waffles make better weapons than pancakes. They make better frisbees. They do.
Do a true Zerg rush.
Yeah.
I demand to know why you value waffles more. Hey, because waffles are crispy. And I don't know. I think they taste better, honestly.
I
They're
think
kinda-
that
are they the same batter? Pretty much.
yeah, it's basically the same batter.
It's just
It's
cooked a little
flour and
differently.
water. That's basically all you need. But you can add certain things. If you're talking about the most basic of batters. The reason I think that I like pancakes more,
You like pancakes?
sorry,
more.
waffles more. The reason I think I like waffles more is when you make a waffle, you are toasting every bit of the waffle.
Mm.
And what happens in that is it changes the flavor because it adds, obviously it adds heat. It breaks down some of the matter, rearranges it, and it turns it into a different taste, which is what happens, when you put bread in the oven. If you eat raw bread, right, that has a taste to it. It tastes nothing like made bread, and I think that waffles to me taste better than pancakes because of that process. You're actually
It
I forget what the process is named.
it's caramelizing.
Yes, it is
When you do
caramelizing.
that, it's like you have more caramelizing of the batter.
Right.
So you have more sweetness, probably.
You are
because
actually
more
bringing
caramel.
out the sugars in the flour because you're causing a process to chemically start because you're adding so much heat that you actually bring out the sugars and you can taste them more in the waffles. Pancakes don't have a natural sweetness. That's why you got to put so much stuff on them. Now you do that to the waffle too because it's good. Let's not argue. But
Yeah, you can fill each one of
pancakes
those
are
little
generally less sweet.
whole syrup, man. You got all those little, and if you go to the Holiday Inn, they're big. They're big squares,
Yeah,
square holes, and you fill each one of those with syrup.
each one.
Man, you're
You
gonna
got little pools of.
you're
That's
gonna be
also
like,
fun about waffles is you got little pools of syrup that you can splash around in.
you're also not gonna sleep for a while. It's because of your sugar rush that you got going on. It's not gonna be the adrenaline; it's the sugar. Like now, Blue Dragon, I have to say, I like pancakes too.
Yeah,
I
I like
do.
pancakes.
It's not like I'm anti-pancake.
The thing that I will say is better in pancakes is when you add fruit and stuff into the mix, right?
I gotta disagree with you there.
Blueberry waffles are great.
No, they're not.
Blueberry waffles. You don't like blueberry waffles?
No.
Okay. Do you like chocolate waffles?
A good way to wreck your waffle by putting blueberries in
What
them.
about
Yeah,
chocolate waffles?
Chocolate waffles would be good.
Chocolate waffles are great.
Chocolate chip waffles.
But I've never seen a banana waffle or a peanut butter waffle. And you can get banana pancakes and peanut butter pancakes, and those are good.
If you took a pancake and you topped it with ice cream, put some peanut butter on there and Hershey's syrup, and then some bacon and a banana, that'd be a really good pancake.
That would be a really good pancake.
Princess says the Maillard reaction is a chemical reaction between amino
Maillard.
acids and reducing sugars.
Thank
that gives
you.
browned foods its distinctive flavor.
Thank you.
Nice.
I knew I couldn't remember the
Raging.
nine of it because you said
Are you
caramelizing. I was
raging
like, it's not quite. It is something else. Maillard. Thank
The
you.
Maillard reaction.
The Maillard reaction, and that
Are you-
actually is what happens to leather as well.
Oh,
You
interesting.
cause the leather to have the Maillard reaction to make it more sustainable, because what you end up doing is you reorganize the I guess you reorganize the atoms and stuff like that, and you make it tougher and stuff like that. That's why they do that. So it's kind of cool.
Hmm.
You don't eat it afterwards, but
You can chew it.
you can chew leather.
It'll take you a long time.
Yeah. Yum.
Princess says waffle cone. Is there a pancake cone? No.
No.
There's a cake cone. They're not like a pancake though. And they're not as good as a waffle cone.
I will say this though. I do like pancakes. Now, see, Joe's going to disagree. I do like pancakes because pancakes can soak things up in a different way and they become mushy.
Yeah, the mushy.
A lot of people are put off by mushiness. Some people are put off by no one's put off by a waffle. It's crispiness. No one. No one is
Joe
put off
is.
by a wasp.
Joe Bohan is.
Joe Bone's like, oh, it's crispy. You don't like it?
Yeah,
What does he not
it
like
was
anything?
hilarious. He was like, well, he was. he goes. Well, you should watch the episode.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It was so fun. Like he's like, why would you want a crispy breakfast? That's like crispy
Cornflakes, Captain
bacon.
Crunch. Everything is sold on crunchiness in cereals. Like,
That's
hey,
true.
this is crunchy. This is, people are like, oh yeah, let's get it. That's what they advertise in breakfast is the crunch.
Right.
And then you're like, yeah, but what about bacon? Joe
Yeah,
likes floppy
he
bacon.
likes floppy bacon.
Yeah.
I'm like, you like floppy bacon? You like to like eat your bacon like spaghetti?
Ew. Ugh. That's a sight.
Then you get bacon grease all over your face and your head. And you're...
Wow, what just happened? I think if someone did that at the table, we would just be staring at them and be like, what was that? No, what did you just do? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Not what bacon's for.
But breakfast is wonderful, and these are breakfast foods. And you know what you do? You're loading yourself up with sugars,
Yeah.
which is going to make you crash before lunch.
Yeah, it's the worst thing for breakfast. The best thing you can have for breakfast, in my opinion, I'm not a dietitian, is a salad with some meat in it. Meat salad, chicken probably, or whatever. That's phenomenal. It'll get you going for the rest of the day. You won't
You
be
know what I
tired
have
at
for
all.
breakfast?
What? What'd you have, boy?
Half and
A
half.
shot of half and half.
And then a cup of coffee with heavy whipping cream in it. My breakfast consists of fat and caffeine. There is no sugar at all.
And it's
Sugar.
just a liquid.
It's all fat.
Nice.
And fat is what your
What is
brain
bacon, a fish?
uses.
Right.
Increases cognitive function. So your brain
Cognitive.
functions better. But anyway, we could go on and on and on about nutrition. We are not professional dietitians.
Mm-hmm.
We are not professional personal trainers. We
Or
are not
chefs.
professional chefs. We're not professional anything except for we love you guys. And we just, hey, take what we say or leave it, and we will love you
Yeah.
no matter
I don't
what.
care what you think. We love you anyways.
We're gonna love you regardless.
That's how hardcore we are.
So deal with it.
And with that, we go. I wish Jesse ended right there. So deal with it. Out. Oh man. All right. We love you guys. We thank you so much for joining us for the show. We hope to see you guys next Wednesday. And we've got more stuff coming. Hey, I know a lot of you want the finale to Criminal Idol. Do you know that's coming in about 2 weeks?
3.
3 weeks? I said about. Okay, you guys know about it's coming in about 3 weeks.
September 25th, the magic day. It's a Friday. Stay tuned.
So be there or be
There will
square.
be-
We're gonna
there
do
will
it.
be some kind of a watch party.
Yeah, there's gonna be a live stream probably right on probably on Static P. I think.
Probably. Well, I don't know if we do the live stream where we watch all the episodes on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
and then move to Static P for the release of episode 13. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You will know because we will tell you
Yes.
what's happening, what's actually happening. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it an event. It's gonna be so cool. And yes, there's an episode 13. You're gonna find out who the bomber is in Criminal Idol.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. And those of you who back the Kickstarter, your products are going to be shipped out like in a week and a half
Yes. From now.
on the 11th.
Not from then.
That's
from now.
that's our goal date to have everything shipped out by next Friday. So we now have all the product in our possession. It all looks amazing. And then
It
yep,
actually
and
does.
then
It looks
after,
really, really good. It looks
and then
really
after
good.
the release, then for those of you who were not able to back the Kickstarter for whatever reason, all that stuff will be available for sale after the release. So
Yeah. After everyone gets their stuff, we will have our stuff available to be purchased. And it will be trust me, if you didn't get the Kickstarter package, you're gonna want this.
Mhm.
Like you're gonna want something because
There's too
everything
much
turned
cool
out
stuff.
everything turned out way better than we expected.
Mhm.
When we got it in our hands, we're like, whoa, this is actually really good. It's turned out really good. So we hope that you guys enjoyed as much as we have, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it even more. But anyhow, with that
Yep.
said, thanks for sticking around. We love you guys, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Yes.
Bye bye.
If you want, you can go to the
Oh.
you can go to the Minecraft server in a little bit. I'll be on there tonight for a little while.
Nice.
Oh.
Cool. All right. Peace.
Love you guys.